Well, welcome back, YouTubers, and you wonderful 420 or something people that have joined me and subscribed. If you haven't already subscribed, please do, as that will help me. If you've got any ideas about how I can raise revenue off this site, copy pages, PayPal, etc., leave your comments below, as I've said before. Anyway, moving along. We're on the way to Old Vlachata. I thought I'd take you there today. I've been there before. If you scroll down the videos, you'll see another video I did of it. But we're in the little fishing port of Efemia. I don't know whether you can see, but it's very popular with the yachty crowd. It's probably a bit cheaper than Pescado, well, a fair bit cheaper than Pescado. And I'm here because I come to this place here, which says Daily Art. There's a lovely bike over there, to see Maria and the girls, and get one of their wonderful coffees. They do really good food here, really nice ice creams, as Pat Burkett will tell you. Sandwiches, pastries, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to get me coffee and then we'll head out over that way in the direction of Old Vlachata, and I'll explain that to you when we get to the signpost. But for now, I'm going to have a coffee. So see you in a minute. Okay, so there's your first sign. That's what you're looking for when you're going to Old Vlachata. In that direction there is Sami. We're about, well, I don't know, 3 miles from Sami. If you're coming from the mountains into Sami, as a turning on the last turning really for the major roads on your left, which takes you to Efemia, you want to turn down there, and that will bring you along here to the sign I've just shown you there. It's pretty well signposted. Just follow those up this little road here. You can see the building there for reference. Just follow that, and that will take you all the way to Old Vlachata. So let's get on the bike and go and explore. Okay, now don't do what I did when I first came here, and I went straight up there and I thought, well, what's all the fuss about? Now there is some old buildings up there. As you can see, there's a few ruins here of farmhouses and what have you. There's one down there, for instance. But no, you need to go to the right here, and it will all open up and all will become apparent in just a minute. I'm going to show you the wonders of Old Vlachata. So that's the road you come down if you turn right, and I'm not quite sure what this building used to be, but that's the river, and that's the square. Very, very interesting place. I love it here. Come here a lot. I usually bring a packed lunch, and that's probably a good idea if you've travelled from Vlachata or Lourdes, Scala, Poros, places like that, and even Augustoli. Probably about just under an hour's drive if you take it steady. As you can see, there's a tarmac road round there because the farmers still use this area. So let's tell you a little bit about Old Vlachata, shall we? There's Nikki sitting in the shade, the black pearl. Okay, so those of you who know Kefalonia will know there was a really bad earthquake in '53, which flattened a lot of the island, and unfortunately a lot of the islanders had to relocate. A lot of them went to other countries, which is why when I first started coming here money was starting to come back in because families had gone away and earned the money elsewhere and brought it back. A lot of people stayed, and that's why this village is now derelict, because in '53 it just completely ruined the village. So people relocated to other parts of the island. It goes back before 1358, I believe, from what I've read about the place. And I think it was the Taco family, somebody might correct me on that, sort of ruled the place. And it was up to about 800 inhabitants at one point, I think, at its peak. So let's have a wander around, and there is a signboard somewhere around here that you can read all this stuff off. But it's just a fascinating place. I mean, you know, it sort of shows how people used to live. And it's just, I just find it amazing that it stood the test of time. The earthquake happened, people left, and the buildings are still here without really very much being done to keep them going. I mean, look at that lintel. It's still there. Since 1953 that's been there. Well, since before that, but obviously no maintenance in 1953 because everybody left. As you can see, there's buildings there that have completely fallen down. Nothing left of them. A lot of mosquitoes I can hear about. I'm going to get bitten, I think, today. So a little wander around. I'll try and keep the camera as steady as I can, because I know my mother, for one, can't cope with the... Oh, there's a board. So if I stick this on here, just for a second, you can read all the details of it. So yeah, I was right, the Taco family between 1358 and 1497 ruled this place. There is a music festival that happens here every year, which, if I'm here when it goes on, I might come and investigate. My friend Karen Fozzard, otherwise known to me as Tigger, she goes every year. Has a good old time, from what I can tell. She runs a place called Down the Rabbit Hole, which is in Argostoli, and if you ask most people, they'll tell you where that is. But that's not why you're called. You're called to look at this fantastic village. It's like a time capsule. Looks like some of it's fallen down again. Mind you, we have had a couple of earthquakes. Many a picture I've seen on Facebook of this particular building, because you can climb up. Let's do that. You go up the staircase. Must have been quite an important building. I'm sure there's people shouting at the screen now who've researched all this, but that gives you an idea. There's trees growing through it now. Get quite a good view from up here. So yeah, old Vlachata's definitely worth a visit. Looks like somebody's took the gate off for some reason. I don't know why that is. There you go. Again, I'm trying to keep the camera still as I can. When I eventually get going with all this, I'm going to try and find that's a gimbal. Keep the camera level when I'm walking around. oven in there, look. Looks like I've been cutting some trees back, and Karen's not going to be happy because the lucky tree, or whatever she calls it, has been cut back. I don't know what I've done that. Seems a bit of a shame, really. As you can see, there's some tourists that have just turned up to have a look round. Here we are, back in the square. As I say, there's a lot more to it than this, but I won't bore you with it. There's little streets like this that go off, with buildings all the way down. Some of the buildings didn't survive, and some of them did. That must have been an important one. Look at the gateway. Another street up there, and the outline of more houses by the looks of it. It goes on for quite a way, but then they go, 800 people at its peak lived here, so it would have been quite a big little village. Well, little. It would have been a large, well, more or less a town really back then, wouldn't it? In those days. But yeah, it's just a nice place, nice and quiet as well. Out of season, you can come here. So that was old vlachata. The reason we're back in Spilia now, looking at a very busy harbour, a lot of cruise liners in there, is because the camera, my phone, let me down again. Yeah, so I'm going to have to get this phone out so I can buy some better equipment. But anyway, so we're a few days late with this post, but there you go. So yeah, there's the port of Augustoli. I don't think I'll be going down there for a while until some of them cruise liners go. You can see the Liberty boats coming and going. So the town will be absolutely rammed packed, which is good for the town and the economy. Got a few yachts in, as you can see. Anyway, that's not why you called. So yeah, I met a young family, Spiro, Joanna and Jerry, while we were in vlachata, old vlachata. They're from the southern end of the island, from what they were telling me, and I'd never been there. He retires in 15 years, and said he would meet up with me then and have a beer. So you're on. Keep watching me on here and get in touch. There's links all over the place, up, below, down, whatever. I think my email's on this site, so you can email me. Which brings me to another point, those of you who watch regular and those of you who don't actually. If you look up at the, let's see, right hand side of the site, you'll see some little Facebook links. If you click on those, that takes you to my Facebook pages, my artwork, my music, and I think even the one about me saving my last boat is on there. And I'll probably be updating those every so often, although that's not a priority to me these days. This is. There's a heck of a lot of cruise liners out there, isn't there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very busy harbour. Anyway, yeah. So that was old vlachata. Hit like, share, subscribe, all the things you can do for me to help me on my way. And thanks for watching from a very busy harbour in Augustoli. Good day to you.